Hi guys, in this review I'll be checking out the AMVR Facial Interface for the Meta Quest 3. This replaces your entire facial interface on your Meta Quest 3, so it's not really a silicone cover. It replaces the whole interface itself, as well as giving you a foam PU leather pad. 3 different levels of depth in the interface itself, should you be using this with glasses, as well as adjusting your field of view. And it also comes with a nose guard for improved immersion in VR. Okay, so let's check out what's inside the box. Okay, here's what you get inside the box. You get a small little manual to tell you how to install the facial interface onto your Quest 3. You get the facial interface itself with one of the foam pads pre-installed, and you also get a second foam pad which has a quite silk cotton cover, which is a little bit more breathable should you wish to swap it over and find which one is more comfortable for you. Looking over the facial interface then, it's very similar to the stock facial interface. I've got a VR cover on this one, but its construction is pretty similar. It has a more obvious adjustment on the depth here, which is something to what the stock facial interface has. You have a integrated nose flap for better immersion, and reducing the light leakage from underneath your nose. Some air vents there for ventilation, which is quite nice to see, as well as at the bottom and at the sides. So it should be quite a good interface over the stock interface. Now, the reason why you might be swapping out your stock interface is that the stock padding on the inside is quite abrasive, and when you've got it on your face super tight, then it's going to be quite abrasive around the top and around the cheekbone area as well. And with the stock soft strap that you get with the Quest 3, overall comfort is quite hard on your face over an amount of time. So you do really want to change the facial interface, I think, in my opinion, as well as the head strap for much better comfort. There aren't that many facial interface solutions out at the moment, even though the Quest has been out for a number of months now. AMVR will be my first full facial interface replacement. There are some 3D printed ones out around as well, but this AMVR one gives you the opportunity to swap out some of the foam pads to improve different levels of comfort. Okay, so let's get this on our Quest 3. We have our Quest 3 here. It should be a simple case of just placing it in there, slides over the top, and hopefully we get a nice reassuring click in. That's nicely clicked in place. You can see there's some gaps around the top there, and that's going to be down to how you manipulate the facial pad. I'm not quite sure how you put this in and out. See if we can remove it easily as well. That unclips relatively easy. Do make sure that the nose pad is properly over this lip here, as it says on the manual. It has lifted up on transit. So the facial interface has some level of adjustment on these little clips here on 4 corners of the interface. You've got the lower ones down here and the upper ones are up on the top there. Currently you can see it's on one of 3 slots. That's medium level. They don't really tell you how to adjust it, so let's explore that a second. So we're going to bring this as close to our face as possible and bring the sliders back in, and again on the bottom. So you basically move this between the 3 settings. Quite hard to show you. See the settings there, that's medium and then that's low, and then you clip it into place. And the nose flap could be a little bit better installed. It should really be more like the ones that you get with the silicone covers. They lock in place in between the 2 points there. I think that's a little bit more of a firmer way of doing it, but this at least keeps it all integrated onto the facial interface itself. Okay, we've set it to short. We're going to reapply it onto the Quest 3. This time there aren't as many reassuring clicks, so less gaps now along the top at its shortest level. Obviously if you're wearing glasses you probably want to have this a little bit further away from your face, unless you're using some lenses like these that I'm using here from AMVR. So that's the facial interface installed, and I would say at the moment the comfort is definitely there. It's a little bit wider for my face. I can still see some light leaking underneath my nose, so let's bring that flat on the inside, see if that improves things. That improves it. Yeah, I can't see any light at the bottom now. So face pad wise, there's a slight smell of leather, or pleather, but I think that will go over a case of time. And because it's PU material, you can easily wipe this down. That you can't do with this stock because it's fabric. So it's going to be easier to wipe this down with a cloth overall. And so far, I'm not quite liking this. It's not a perfect fit. You can see there's like a ridge on the outside. Yes, you've got some ventilation holes. That's going to help above and below. And you've got a nice big recess here to pass any head top straps in. But as this PU leather pad goes, I'd say it's comfortable. Way more comfortable than the stock one will be. And this feels good. It's not loose in any way, it doesn't come off, that's firmly in there, so that's good to see as well. On the short setting, I've got quite long eyelashes. I am feeling them brush these lenses, so maybe medium would have been a bit better for me. As for field of view, I'd say it's not really hindered in any way as far as I can tell. I'd have to use like a field of view test, but I think that's fine for me. It doesn't feel restrictive in any way really. Okay, so the best thing is that this uses Velcro to attach its foam padding, and if you've got a Quest 2 and all the foam covers you might have accumulated with that, you might be able to find one that works with this if you had a favorite padding, for example. We can try that out in a minute, but first of all, let's just try out the one that comes secondary to the PU leather pad. It's made of cotton. They call it silk cotton. It's definitely got a nice soft feel to it. If you're using this for fitness though, it's going to take in a lot more sweat. It is going to be a bit more breathable. The foam isn't that dense, so it's probably similar to the stock foam padding, but this hasn't got much to it. Neither is this, to be honest, but we'll get this applied. You've got much more frontal forehead padding there, a little bit less at the sides compared to the stock interface. So we'll align that up properly and get that attached. Okay, so that's the silk cotton cover attached, fairly straightforward. And because of the soft sense of this foam padding, I start to feel the top of these, if this is forced against my face, as it would be with an Elite strap, for example. Maybe less so with a Halo strap, but I would say due to its foam padding, it's not really, if it was a bit more thicker, a bit more denser, that would have been a better solution. It's definitely nice and soft, but I think I'm feeling all of this padding and this nose flap a little more. Let's just put it on the inside. Again, no light leakage on the inside with this one instead. I was getting it with the other one. Yeah, I'm in two minds about this. The whole interface just feels a little bit wider than stock, which seems to come out and over, kind of comes out and into your sides here, where this is, it takes that curve of stock and then brings it slightly further out. So if you've got a wider face shape, it might be a better fit than the stock facial interface is. But for me, I can see if it wobbles, and it might do on a Halo strap, for example, can see light on the back side, but that's if I'm really looking for it. Otherwise, it's fairly comfortable. Let's see if we can fit in a Quest 2 foam cover. So here we have a VR cover foam cover, but it's a Quest 2 cover, and we can give this a go, see if it's any different. This is the best thing about having a Velcro attachment for a facial interface. As soon as they brought that out for the Quest 3, I just knew that there's so many possibilities of using other people's, or same brand. AMVR also make foam covers as well for their headset. It's not the perfect fit, but it fits nonetheless. And this is my favorite facial interface padding from VR cover. So that is a Quest 2 pad, foam pad from VR cover on the AMVR facial interface, thanks to its Velcro connection, and I think that looks pretty good, and it does the job. It cradles the edges of the face here as well as the top pad, so this is as good as the AMVR one that comes with it. So if you did want to choose a different color, for example, you could buy some other Quest 2 covers and they would potentially fit on this no problem. For comparison's sake, you can see I've been using this a while though, so this is probably compacted over time. The thickness is pretty much the same as VR covers. You can see the shape is just slightly different, where this comes down, this comes up over the top for a Quest 3, and it's a little bit wider as well, you can see. But the benefit of the Quest 2 pad, you've got thicker padding at the bottom here, which is quite needed really, in my opinion, as well as the forehead, because they're two main pressure points when using an Elite strap. So that's an option. You can go for some other pads once you've got this Velcro system on your Quest 3, thanks to this AMVR facial interface. So this facial interface retails for $34.99 currently on Amazon. And I'll leave links down below so you can learn more about this facial interface, support the channel, and buy yourself one. It currently has 4.1 stars with 251 ratings. So for me, that's a lot of people will enjoy this particular product from AMVR. Personally, I think it's a very good addition. It's probably the only addition that I'm aware of at the moment that does a facial interface for the Meta Quest 3. The fact that you get 2 different types of pads is a nice touch, and the fact that you've got 3 levels of depth, whether you want to come away from the lenses a little bit more or if you want to come as close as you can, it does support that. My lashes are brushing these lenses on the shorter level, and there'll probably be less as much on the medium setting, and if I were to be wearing glasses, I'll probably go for the larger setting inside the VR headset. So plenty of custom options through the padding, through the sizing from AMVR there, plenty of comfort through the various ports and holes that are located around the headset as well, so that will help with temperature inside the headset and less fogging if you encounter that often. So overall, a good little product there from AMVR. I'll check this out over a number of days, playing a couple of games on the Quest 3, and I'll write in the comments down below if I've encountered any issues or some extra bonuses that I've not noticed in this review currently, so check them out down below if I've got any updates. Alright, thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. Give us a thumbs up if it has, and let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions about this facial interface from AMVR. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.